Hello everyone, it is Rin, your favorite Space Elf VTuber, and I am here with trying to start a new thing this year. So you know how I've done those space streams occasionally, where I talk about different space news and different fun facts? I think I'm gonna try something different this year. I want to try making shorter videos every month. Maybe once or maybe twice a month, every 2 weeks, I think. Instead of trying to just have a long stream, you know? So I think it'll be a little easier on my voice for one. And can probably put out content a little more often. So, let's see how this goes, shall we? So let's start off with the new news for the new year. We started the year off on New Year's Eve, actually. Not quite the new year yet. With a huge solar flare at 4:55 EST. The flare created a coronal mass ejection, or CME, which is a large expulsion of plasma and magnetic field from the sun's corona. It was the most powerful flare that's happened in the current solar cycle, and the largest observed since September 10th, 2017. It does seem, however, that Earth was out of the direct line of fire, since there were no geometric storms or anything observed. So that's good. It was followed by another strong flare on the 4th, on January 4th, at about 8:55 EST, which did cause a shortwave radio blackout over Australia and the surrounding Pacific Ocean. So they had to deal with that for a little bit. In more news, India launched a satellite on New Year's Day. The X-ray Polarimeter satellite, or XPOSat, will carry out research on X-rays emanating from the 50 brightest known sources in the universe. The observations can help in understanding the emission from black holes and neutron stars. So in upcoming news, on January 8th, this coming Monday, a United Launch Alliance, or ULA rocket, will send Astrobiotics Peregrine lander to the moon. This will be the first private lander ever to land on the moon. Along with various scientific instruments developed by NASA, the manifest includes human remains going up on memorial space flights offered by the companies Celestis and Elysium Space. Not everyone's all about this, though, especially the president of the Navajo Nation, who filed a formal complaint on December 21st, stating that many indigenous cultures hold the moon sacred, and leaving human remains would be desecration. NASA's response was essentially that they didn't really have a say in what private companies do and don't put on their own spacecraft. The CEO of Celestis stated that no individual religion can or should dictate whether a space mission should be approved. So, certainly controversial, but it's, you know, an interesting new thing to be happening in space, you know? Yeah, that's where we're at in the 21st century, babes. There are a few more moon missions planned this year, and not just by US corporations. Next up, on January 20th, we have the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, or JAXA, and their Smart Lander for Investigating Moon SLIM lander, nicknamed Moon Sniper. In May, China aims to end its Chang'e 6 spacecraft to collect rocks from the moon's far side. Most excitingly, at least to me, NASA's Artemis 2 mission could launch as soon as November. This is the first manned lunar mission since 1972, and will pave the way for Artemis 3, which plans to have long-duration crewed missions to the surface. Now, Artemis 2 will just have the crew members near the moon. They won't actually land on the surface, as far as I know, but still, very exciting. Few other things happening later this year. Like after much delay, the ESA is planning to launch the Ariane 6 heavy lift rocket between June 15th and July 31st. Its success would allow Europe to once again independently launch satellites into orbit. Oh, also, you guys remember that time in 2022 when Earth crashed a spacecraft into an asteroid to test a planetary defense method? Yeah, that was a thing. The follow-up mission, Hera, will launch in October to rendezvous with the asteroid Dimorphos in late 2026, early 2027, and study the crater that DART left behind. That's exciting. We'll see what the impact was of that test. In September, Japan plans to launch Martian moon exploration, MMX, to study Phobos, the larger of Mars' 2 moons. The craft will collect samples from the moon and is expected to land back on Earth in about 2029. Or not about 2029, in 2029. In October, NASA will launch Europa Clipper to study Europa's ocean. Now, if you recall, Europa is one of Jupiter's moons, and it has an ocean even bigger than any of Earth's. Or I think even larger than Earth's combined, even though it's smaller than Earth, if I recall correctly. It will enter Jupiter's orbit around 2030 and intermittently fly by the moon to check it out, you know, see what it can investigate. In the same month, NASA is planning to send 2 satellites nicknamed Blue and Gold around Mars. The satellites are part of the ESCAPADE mission to study how the Martian atmospheres interact with solar wind. Finally, the year will end with Rocket Lab's first private mission to Venus. The Venus Life Finder spacecraft is designed to look for, you guessed it, organic material in the planet's atmosphere. It's planned to launch December 30th and reach Venus a year and a half later. So we've got a very exciting year ahead of us in terms of space travel and studying all the effects and everything. And there's been so much already just this year, and it's barely started, and I'm so excited to see what happens next. And I'm excited to learn more with you all as the year goes on. Let me know if there's any particular subjects you'd like me to cover in these videos, and I'll do my best. Hopefully this goes well. You know, we'll see if this is a thing. Alright, peace out.